Tonight, infrastructure projects take center stage as Federal Executive Council meets for the week. New era for environmental education. President Tinubu signs bill for establishment of Federal University of Environment and Technology, Ogoni.
It's more than the creation of a university. It is reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to the people of Ogoni, the Niger Delta, and the entire nation as a whole.
Fraud allegation court remands former NHIS boss Usman Yusuf in Kuje Correctional Center. It's a pleasure to have you join the network news on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Also joining from our Lagos studios is Hingino John Adams. Musa Abubakar in Abuja will tell us what to expect on the business beat. Musa?
Equities market begin the week in positive territory as oil prices declined in Monday's trading.
Details later. Meanwhile, Bade Adeleye is also in the sporting arena with updates. Bade?
Well, the transfer window in top leagues in Europe closes tonight, and there's a last-minute rush.
All right, then. We look forward to the details, Bade. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live, and you can watch the replay on our YouTube channel. Do also follow us across social media. Our handles are displayed on the screen. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has signed the bill. President Bola Tinubu, the Federal Executive Council, this Monday, held its first meeting of the year with major attention on infrastructure development across the country, approving various memoranda for the commencement of infrastructure projects across the sectors. And we'll bring you details of that report in the course of the bulletin. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has signed the bill for establishment of Federal University of Environment and Technology, Ogoni, calling it a demonstration of commitment to the well-being of Ogoni people and the environment. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports.
In the history of agitation for environmental remediation and sustainable development in Nigeria, Ogoni community readily comes to mind. Their clamor for action has been loud for decades. Some of the voices have even been lost along the way. But this administration would again prove to be the one that hears cries and assuages plights. In the series of efforts to resume the oil exploration, which has been on hold for decades in these oil-rich endowments, this moment comes as significant and decisive. A bill that has endured since 2019 and the National Assembly finally received the most expected attention.
Thank you, Excellency, Mr. President.
For President Bola Tinubu, this is more than just establishment of a citadel of learning.
It's more than the creation of a university. It is reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to the people of Ogoni, the Niger Delta, and the entire nation as a whole.
The president says his administration is fully committed to the healing processes that guarantee a sense of belonging for all parts of the country.
By signing this bill into law, we are taking a decisive step towards addressing historical grievances and creating new opportunities for learning, growth, and prosperity. The university will serve as a center of excellence, equipping young Nigerians with the knowledge and skill to tackle present environmental challenges, drive clean energy solutions, and contribute to our national sustainable economic development.
The signing of this bill into law by His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, demonstrates a strong commitment to addressing long-standing concerns and fostering a sustainable development in Ogoniland and Nigeria.
The university will support our oil and gas sectors by creating middle-level and high-level jobs to the community.
For the Ogoni leaders, this is a reassuring moment that signals a new dawn for their communities.
And it is our duty to sustain this beacon of hope for future generations. I therefore call on the Ogoni people to share their swords and remain peaceful yet vigilant as the ongoing dialogue process progresses.
The hopes of the Ogoni people are clearly being renewed under this administration, and the negotiation between the federal government and the leaders of the Ogoni community continues under the coordination of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. And apparently, more breakthroughs are imminent in the nearest future. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
And speaking of more developments under the Renewed Hope agenda, new federal commissioners and permanent secretaries have been sworn in. President Bola Tinubu presided over the swearing-in ceremony in the council chambers before commencement of the day's meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The newly appointed commissioners include 21 for the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, and 1 each for Federal Character Commission and the National Population Commission. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports that 8 new permanent secretaries were equally conducted into the Federal Civil Service. Thinking out of the box in mobilizing resources to meet the development needs of the people is fast yielding fruit at sub-national levels, with the Northwest Governors Forum taking the lead on a global platform to fully utilize the economic advantages in the region as the United Nations provides strategic partnership. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Northwest Governors Forum is exploring several strategies and developing insightful plans to improve the worth of the region and put its economy on the right trajectory. Some of the burning issues on the table for discussion while in a closed-door session are agricultural development of the region, as well as human capital development and other critical sectors seeking the intervention of the United Nations. 5 out of the 7 governors of the Northwest Zone and the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, were in attendance, and the future of the economy of the region dominated discussions. The forum also pledged to look into some issues, slowing down the pace of progress and renewed commitment towards domesticating the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu.
All the United Nations agencies attended the meeting on which presentations were made in areas of collaboration and coordination between the Northwest states and the development partners, particularly the United Nations. After that, we had an elaborate meeting also with the African Development Bank on NAC 2.0, and also the issue of SAPZ was also discussed, the second phase and the first phase. In the first phase of the SAPZ, Kaduna and Kano State.
The forum announced the appointment of Mariam Musa Mohammed as the new Director General of the Northwest Governors Forum, with other focal persons across the 7 states of the Northwest region for proper coordination and administrative convenience. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Well, you just saw my colleague Abubakar Akwanga and my other colleague Musbah Wahab doing what they know best. What you might not know is that a reporter's job is not for the faint-hearted. It requires a great deal of stamina, physical fitness, and unflagging self-motivation. An aspiring television journalist must be strong in perseverance, be able to look danger squarely in the face, be willing to work long hours, forego weekends, holidays and special occasions, and be ready to be on the road at a moment's notice. It is indeed tasking. Mayor Ogidi in this report had a moment with, well, yours truly, paying a day in the life of a journalist. Let's see what he's got.
It's 7 a.m. Monday, and a bright-eyed journalist is already out. NTA headquarters, Abuja, is the destination. A day that is near endless in prospects awaits Najatu Tijani, a reporter, film editor, and newscaster. Paradoxically, she prepares for the day with a bag, giving a casual observer the impression that she is going for a vacation. That is the work for television. A brief stopover at the newsroom that never sleeps to register her presence. Then out to the busy streets of Abuja for a report.
So good afternoon. My name is Najat Tijani from...
Some respondents not responding. Other responses not corresponding. But she has to make a sense of it all. It's 5 p.m. already. Back to base. Tight schedule for her. Editing must be concluded before 7 p.m. to prepare for 9 p.m. network news. Editing done. Get to the studio, 1 hour news to read through. Then it's time to put the face on and the makeup artist on hand. Last look at the mirror. Then to the news desk to get mic'd up by the engineers. The scripts have to sound as natural as possible, so a bit of rehearsal. Seconds to go. The director counts down.
Hold your script, coming to you, stand by. 3, 2, 1, go.
And the magic happens as it is happening right now. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Thanks, Mie Ogidi, for shining the spotlight on what it's like to be a reporter here at the Nigerian Television Authority. It's been a very busy day. Let me now step aside to take a break as commercial messages take the air. But don't forget the camera crew and the army of producers and directors who helped with that report. I'll be right back with more reports. Stay tuned. You're watching the network news on NTA. A high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the remand of former Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Professor Usman Yusuf, at the Kuje Custodial Center, following allegations of embezzlement and fraud to the tune of 90,439,178 naira. Usman was arraigned before Justice Chinyere Nwechonu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Kuchiako Kuje, on a 5-count charge bordering on embezzlement, conferring undue advantage and fraud, but pleaded not guilty to all counts. Trial Judge Justice Nwechonu, however, ordered that the defendant be remanded at Kuje Custodial Center until February 12, when his bail would be determined. Globacom has presented brand new Kia Picanto cars to winners in its customer reward promo, Festival of Joy. This was at a colorful ceremony in Ibadan, Oyo State, with the Deputy Governor, Bayo Lawal, in attendance. Ayomiku Ajibola tells us more.
Acquiring a new status as car owners, the deal received the key to unlock the brand new Kia Picanto.
I didn't believe it because I've never won anything like this before. So I'm very happy, I'm excited. I say thank you to Globe.
I never expect this coming in any way at all. So I feel so excited to be among the winners of the Kia Picanto of the Globacom.
So people should be using the Globe, subscribe to Globe, and get a lot of things, a lot of prize.
Oyo State Deputy Governor Bayo Lawal, who was a special guest, noted that Globacom is a network that is known for giving, stressing that over the years, many Nigerians have been empowered by Glo.
It's a manifestation of this reality that those who are subscribers, those who are dealers, must partake from the growth and development of Glo.
Head of Business West Globacom, Andy Abdrazak Ola, reiterated that the customers can participate in the Festival of Joy promo by simply dialing *611# and keep recharging.
We are happy with our teaming subscribers, and beyond just economics, we also want to improve their lives, their lifestyle, whatever they do. So Glo is happy. Glo wants its customers to be happy. So
at the ceremony were other winners who won power generating sets, sewing machines, and grinding machines. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Owando PLC, one of Africa's largest integrated energy solutions providers, has released its 2024 unaudited results, which indicate revenue up 45% to 4.1 trillion naira. Profit after tax increased 9% to 65.5 billion naira. Exit production also going up 46% to 30,712 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Average production stepping higher to 23,911 barrels of oil equivalent per day. The Group Chief Executive, Owando PLC, Wale Tinubu, says 2024 was a year of transformation for Owando, with the key highlight being the successful acquisition and subsequent integration of Nigerian Ajipoil Company Limited, which significantly enhanced production capacity, attaining peak operated production of 103,206 barrels of oil equivalent by day and net entitlements of 45,000. Despite a challenging operating environment, he emphasizes that the company has achieved a 45% increase in revenue to 4.1 trillion naira, reflecting the strength of its business model, and a 9% rise in profit after tax to 65.5 billion naira, notwithstanding the costs associated with the onboarding. The Group Chief Executive says in 2025, priority will be to drive cost optimization, operational efficiency, streamlining processes, enhancing procurement, and leveraging technology to improve productivity across operations. In parallel, Owando will intensify efforts to boost production through the dual approach of rigless and workover initiatives while executing an aggressive drilling program across 3 rig lines. In collaboration with other stakeholders, he says the company will continue to proactively tackle above-ground security challenges by implementing a revamped security framework which integrates advanced surveillance technology and intelligence-driven initiatives to curb the perennial, unnecessary and unjustifiable theft of oil to ensure the long-term integrity of vast network of the company. And now let's join Musa Abubakar on the business beat. Musa?
Thank you, Naja. Well, let's begin by telling you that the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to sound fiscal management through the revised cash management and bottle-up cash planning policy. Speaking at the stakeholders review meeting in Abuja, Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Anite, highlighted the policy's success in improving budget execution, transparency, and accountability. She emphasized the importance of data consistency and structural reforms, particularly in agriculture, to address inflation while acknowledging challenges such as slow implementation and capacity gaps in MDAs. She assured that the government is working with stakeholders to refine the policy. She urged active participation to build a more transparent and efficient public financial management system. And to energy, oil prices declined on Monday after the United States and Mexico agreed to a 1-month pause on tariffs previously imposed by the U.S. on its southern neighbor. Brent crude futures fell by 15 cents or 0.2% to $75.53 per barrel after reaching an earlier higher of $77.34. Meanwhile, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures remain flat at $72.53 per barrel, having surged as much as 3.7% earlier in the session to a peak of $75.18, its highest level since January 24th. Trading activities on the Nigerian equities market closed on a strong note today, with the benchmark all-share index settling at 104,630.3 points. This reflects sustained investor confidence and positive sentiments across key sectors. Market participation remained robust as investors execute 14,611 deals, driving total trading volume to 510,000 or 510 million shares value at 13.25 billion naira. The market's total equity capitalization stood at impressive 64.79 trillion naira, underscoring the resilience of the bourse despite macroeconomic headwinds. That's a quick look at business news. Najai, back to you.
Thank you, Musa. Now, we promise to bring you details of the first meeting of the Federal Executive Council held this Monday with focus on infrastructural development. State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab reports.
Cabinet members meet officially for the first time in year 2025. Some exchanges of pleasantries and interpersonal catch-ups before another session for state matters. And as their principal emerges, time to recommit to the national cause. Expectedly, the accumulated memoranda would receive attention and painstakingly too. From the indications, the Renewed Hope administration is focusing more on infrastructure developments across sectors. And after hours of deliberations, Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris led his relevant colleagues to announce a series of approvals by the Council. The Council approved memos for the Ministry of Works for 7 major road projects cutting across the country. They include Sections 1 and 3 of the Abuja-Kano Highway, Lagos-Ibadan Phase 2, and the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Superhighway.
Mr. President graciously directed that, while the Sections 1 and 2 are going on within Lagos, Section 1 Lagos and Section 2 Lagos to the boundary of Ogun State, that we should start another section in Calabar and Akwa Ibom. And that's what we have done, and it's about 65 kilometers by 2.
On the infrastructure development of
the FCT administration also got approvals for 5 road projects across the territory. Ministry of Transportation got the go-ahead for the feasibility study and engineering design of road alignment to link up 4 major seaports.
By the time we are able to link all these 4 seaports at the Western Corridor to the hinterland, it will further grow our GDP and enhance our economic activity.
The creative and tourism sector also received approval for infrastructure developments that will facilitate growth in the sector and its pursuit to contribute $100 billion to the GDP by 2030.
Projects are Obudu Resort, Ranch, Yankari Game Reserve, the Abuja Creative City, a 5,000 cinema screens, Creative City at the Wole Soyinka Center, Lagos, Center for African Arts, Digital Distribution Network, upgrading the National Gallery, and expanding National Arena capacity to 100,000. We want to bring a Nigerian museum to Abuja.
The Council announced $1 billion funding from the International Development Association to develop Hope Agenda and improve governance around primary health care, as well as for delivery of essential services in the health sector, with the additional grant financing of $70 million. The health sector also secured approval for the Presidential Treatment Program for HIV patients.
The procurement will be from an entity that is going to be locally manufacturing antiretrovirals. This is in line with the direction of the President for us to industrialize medically, to begin to produce some of those products in Nigeria.
on the recent U.S. government's policy pronouncements on development assistance to other countries, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare says Nigeria has already been working ahead towards self-reliance in the sector.
And this other policy measure we're taking is a constructive way of engaging with the new year's policy direction. We are saying we appreciate all the support over the years, but Nigeria also needs to work its way to exit from dependency and towards self-reliance and national ownership using national systems, while appreciating whoever it is that may come and contribute to our own population's health.
The FEC meeting will continue tomorrow.
Cabinet members had a minute silence in honor of a former FCT minister, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Hussaini, who passed on recently. From the State House, Musbal, then Wahab, NTA News.
Thank you, Musbal. Now, what has every Nigerian motorist been advised to get? The enforcement of third-party motor insurance has commenced, with NTA's Benny Adams going around Abuja to sample motorists' opinion about the insurance. Here is what he found out.
Vehicles plying this road and any other road in Nigeria are expected to have third-party insurance. This covers third-party in terms of accidents, damages to vehicles, and even death. But the present practice where vehicles go to register in vehicle inspection officers or road safety officers and they pay 10,000, 15 or 20,000 as the case may be does not really cover this insurance. Let's find out how this works.
Now my property, if I don't want to insure, I'm going to leave and make it as a day.
So if you can't hit somebody, you don't affect somebody.
I don't repair people motor since now. I don't hit people motor. I go hit people motor, so you go repair. What did they do?
Last week, somebody won't open door. As I dodge him like this, I hit that Camry. You understand me? Immediately when I hit the Camry, we stop. The man say, you know, go gree you. I say, I beg, not be my fault. See somebody where even come out for the motor. See, the lady come, they laugh. He said, I don't know, say, so true, now you open this door. I say, now him I dodge. So the man said, the back light don't break. Say, now 50,000. We negotiate, I beg him. He say, okay, waiting I have there. I come out 5,000, give him. He go, me come out, I go.
First party or own damage insurance provides coverage for damages to your insured vehicle. It includes accidents, theft, natural calamities, and man-made disasters, while the third-party insurance covers the liabilities arising from damages to third-party vehicles, property, or bodily injuries caused, and has a total limit of 3 million for the policyholder to repair or replace the property of the innocent third party damaged during an accident.
In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Thank you, Benny. And now joining us in our studio to talk more about the third-party insurance is the Deputy Commissioner for Insurance, Technical, National Insurance Commission, and the person of Dr. Usman Jankara. Welcome to NTA News Network Studios.
Thank you, Najatu. Good evening, and thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure being here. Good evening.
Let's dive right in. You heard some of the comments made by respondents. So what is third-party motor insurance? Why is it mandatory? And what is the minimal level required?
Thank you very much for that question. I would just like to say that third-party motor insurance is a compulsory insurance that is required by law, that every vehicle owner on Nigerian roads must have. If you don't have that, you are therefore in breach of the law, and it means you are acting contrary to the law. But let me ask, why is that made a requirement? And I will speak to your initial report. The man who was saying that he had something spoiled for about 50,000 and they negotiated to 5,000. That is just a small instance where things worse than that could happen. So the third-party motor insurance actually requires that for you to put a vehicle on Nigerian roads, it must be insured. But what you are insuring is not necessarily insurance of your own vehicle. It is insurance for the likely financial loss that you force or you foist on an innocent third party. In this case, I emphasize the word innocent because when you put a vehicle on the road, it's like putting something that is harmful on the road. And so the law then requires that because you're putting something that is likely to cause harm to innocent Nigerians, you must then make provision for the damages that that vehicle will cause. But don't forget, he was talking about a mere accident. What if he had hit somebody and the person had to be hospitalized for even 10 million naira? That vehicle he had wouldn't have even afforded him the value to be able to meet that obligation. Is he going to tell them, sorry, I don't, because we can settle and I go? Now, what third-party motor insurance does is to protect innocent third parties for whose fault? You know, it is not their fault that you have caused these damages to them. So my appeal to Nigerians this evening is that if you have a vehicle, please get this. You are not just doing it for yourself. You are also doing it for the benefit of other Nigerians who also use this road. Thank you.
So speaking of benefits, though, many vehicle owners do complain about delays in claim settlement. Why is this happening, and how can these issues be addressed?
Now, okay, because perhaps we're in the insurance industry, and we now have a recent mantra, and that is when we came on board as management of the National Insurance Commission, the regulatory agency, the mantra today, and you can find out anywhere, is that find a reason to settle claim. The mantra is find a reason to settle claims, and we're ensuring that that is done. All the instances where claims have been have occurred, we have had insurance companies now settling. And let me inform you, in 2023, the industry settled claim worth 45 billion naira. And these are claims to Nigerians. I'm not sure that the example you gave in terms of the report that I got, whether that guy has the means to afford even 2 million to settle this claim. But with a 15,000 naira policy, it will afford him a cover for up to 3 million that won't necessitate the need to beg anybody or the need to fight on the street, on the road, or for roads to be blocked when there are accidents, because the person feels this guy just wanted to run away, so I have to block him. That is the essence of the third-party compulsory insurance that we have in place.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jankara. I'm sure it's an issue that will be ongoing, which many Nigerians would like to learn more about and key into. Thank you for joining us and, of course, sharing your expertise in this area.
Thank you very much.
I've been speaking with the Deputy Commissioner for Insurance Technical of the National Insurance Commission, Dr. Usman Jankara. There on the third-party motor insurance. And now it's time to join Hingino in Lagos for more reports. Hingino.
Thank you, Najatu, and welcome to Lagos. Officers and men of the Nigerian Army have been charged to remain loyal and committed to constituted authority, be law-abiding and professional in the defense of the territorial integrity of the nation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, gave the charge in his message to the Army social gathering at 243 Battalion, Army Barracks, Ibereko, Badagry, Lagos. Diana Ajale completes the report.
Nigerian Army 243 Battalion Ibereko Barracks is located in the midst of the Egun people, who are predominantly fishermen and women. Bringing the West African social activities down to this community provided an opportunity for the Nigerian Army to not just socialize with their family and friends, but also with members of the community who turned out in their numbers, including royal fathers, to witness the celebration. The event also fostered the spirit of friendship and regimentation between personnel and the civilian population. The Chief of Army Staff, who was represented by the General Officer commanding 81 Division, Major General Farouk Mejinyawa, said the welfare of officers and men of the Nigerian Army remains a priority.
And this is in line with the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff, which is to consolidate the transformation of the Nigerian Army towards bequeathing a well-motivated and combat-ready force that can effectively discharge its constitutional responsibilities within a joint and multi-agency environment.
The commanding officer, 243 Battalion of the Nigerian Army, Colonel Mohammed Abdullahi Abdul, says the command will continue to do more in ensuring a safer and peaceful environment for all.
We are reminded of the inherent beauty in human interaction as we witness the power of fellowship and community. It is a unique opportunity to exchange ideas, insights, and laughter as we create lifelong memories together.
The gathering provided another opportunity for several cultural groups, the Thieves, Bachama people of Adamawa State, and many more, to showcase Nigeria's rich and diverse cultural heritage to the people of Badagry. In a unique way, both military and paramilitary proved their strengths in the tug of war. Officers who distinguished themselves in different areas of responsibility were honored in the course of the celebration. In Lagos, Diana Ajalo, NTA News.
And talking health now, periodic medical checkup plays a significant role in improvement of life expectancy and proactive measures against terminal diseases. While medical experts recommend regular health checks and lifestyle modification, some Nigerians have not imbibed this culture. Joel Pukbola has the report.
Just like vehicles need routine servicing, so also is the human body, with food being the major source of energy. Many untimely deaths could have been nipped in the bud, especially cancer and other cardiovascular ailments. Dr. Alero Robert says a comprehensive medical check should be done twice or annually.
Then there are some blood tests that we want to do, particularly with females of reproductive age. We want because we're at your peak before you get pregnant. So we want you to do your some blood tests, your cholesterol level, if there are risk factors, there's a family history of hypertension or diabetes or overweight. You have to do a dental checkup.
We seem to have lost the signal from our Lagos Center. We do apologize for that. And do stay tuned while we take a break. On the entertainment scene, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Nigerian music sensation Temilade Openiyi, popularly known as Tems, on winning the Best African Music Performance Award at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards held in Los Angeles Sunday night. On behalf of the entire nation, President Tinubu commends the singer for her unique artistry, which has brought pride to Nigeria on the global stage for the second time. President Tinubu congratulates other Nigerian artists nominated for this year's Grammy Award: Yemi Alade, Asake, Wizkid, Lil J, Davido, and Burna Boy. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, the President thanks these patriots for putting Nigeria on the global map of great achievers in the music industry and for showcasing the country's creative excellence. Congratulatory messages have continued to pour in for Nigerian singer Tems, who bagged her second Grammy Award, winning Best African Music Performance for her song Love Me Jeje at the 67th Grammy Awards. Here's an update on Tems' journey to global recognition by our correspondent Ekemini Williams.
Wow. Dear God, thank you so much for putting me on this stage and bringing me this team.
Tems' meteoric rise to global fame began with her feature on Wizkid's Essence in 2021, which later received a remix featuring Justin Bieber and peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, earning a Grammy nod. You don't need no other body. She then collaborated with Drake on Fountains and released her debut EP for Broken Ears in 2020, introducing her unique alter sound.
Tell me why you're crying, how can it big deal?
In 2022, Future's Wait For You sampled her song Higher, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making her the first African artist to top the charts. The song won Best Melodic Rap Performance at the 2023 Grammys, earning her first Grammy win.
Thank you to Thames, thank you to ATL Jacob, thank you to FNZ.
Thames's influence continued to grow, co-writing Rihanna's Lift Me Up, earning her Oscar, Golden Globe and Grammy nominations.
Congrats on everything. I just met Thames. She's my favorite. She's amazing.
At this year's Grammy Awards, Thames received 3 nominations: Best African Music Performance for her song Love Me Jeje, Best R&B Song for her song Burning, and Best Global Music Album for Burn in the Wild. She urged out top competitors in the Best African Music Performance category in the likes of Yemi Alade, Burna Boy, Chris Brown, Davido and Asake to further solidify her position as one of Africa's most influential global female artists. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Incidentally, Ekimini was telling me earlier that Temilade means the crown is mine. So Thames there, living up to her name. Let's take a third break. We'll be right back. The planned protest by the organized labor scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday, 4th February 2025, has been suspended after a meeting between the federal government and organized labor.
And see, we have been engaging with members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the leadership, the President, Secretary, and other members of the Executive Council of the NLC. We have met here under the chairmanship of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. We have the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, the Minister of Budget, the Minister of Communication, Minister of Labour, and myself, and of course the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC. We have deliberated at length. The crux of the matter is that there is already a study that was conducted by the NCC that led them to arrive at this 50% increase. Now we are discussing this with Labour. Labour has agreed that they will look at that study, and then a small committee has been set up to look at that study once again and come up with a final resolution for the consideration of government and Labour in about 2 weeks' time. So what the summary of it is that Labour and the Nigerian Labour Congress specifically and the delegation of the federal government have set up a committee of 5 each. We're going to meet here continuously for the next 2 weeks, and at the end of the second week, we will now come up with a recommendation that will give to government and the organized labour for final consideration.
We conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of the bulletin. I'm Naja Atutijani. And sorry, we could promised earlier.